The minister is arriving this evening for two important high-level meetings in the Security Council of the UN. It is two open debates, and those are platforms that allow member states to pronounce themselves and share their perspectives on different issues. The two open debates this time around, the first one is on the Middle East, the situation in the Middle East, and on the question of Palestine. That's the first one. And the second one is on the women, peace and security, something that is very close to South Africa and something that we championed when we were in the Security Council. So she is arriving to attend those two open debates, to be able to convey South Africa's positions on the question in the Middle East, the question of Palestine, where South Africa stands, what we demand, what we think the international community should do, and she will be able to convey that not just to the Security Council, but to all member states that will be participating in this open debate. The same goes for women, peace and security, which is, as I said, it's something that we've always focused on, the importance of women peace builders, the importance of ensuring that women, during times of conflicts, even before conflicts, do participate meaningfully and effectively in peace processes, from prevention of conflicts all the way to negotiating peace instruments, peace agreements, to implementing those, political transitions, up to post-conflict reconstruction and development. Once again, South Africa will be conveying its positions on those. And in that space specifically, South Africa has a history of focusing on the women and building the capacity of women as mediators, as peace builders for conflict, for them to be able to get involved meaningfully in mediating conflicts, in negotiating peace and solutions. It is important that action takes place at the Security Council, at the United Nations. And it is here where our position must be conveyed together with other like-minded countries so that our voice together is strong and goes out there. And we are hoping that the outcome of this meeting will send a very strong message for us, for the people of Palestine, for the ending and the ceasefire, to end the suffering of the people of Palestine, for humanitarian assistance to be able to flow into the Gaza, and really to stop the movement and the displacement of the Palestinians in Gaza. So we're hoping that there will be many voices that convey the same message to the Security Council for it to act. As you know, the Security Council failed to act twice. There were two resolutions that were put forward, the first one by the Russian Federation and the second one by the president of the Security Council, Brazil, and even that resolution did not pass, and it had all the elements that were necessary to assist the situation in Gaza, and that didn't pass. And we're hoping that this time around, with a special focus by all member states on the situation in the Middle East, that the message will be heard loud and clear and the Security Council will act. It is reaffirming South Africa's position on those countries that need self-determination, countries like Palestine. What has been happening to Palestine over a number of years is not working at all. We've been consistent about the causes of conflict there in Palestine, about the need for the two-state solution, and this will be just another platform to amplify that. So if one looks at it and looks at where South Africa comes from, given our own history, given our own experience of apartheid, we will not want that for any other state. And we do not want that for Palestine and the people of Palestine. So it's just consistency in our foreign policy positions, and that being conveyed in different platforms, including in the Security Council, and it will not be the first time that this is being conveyed. But this problem has gone too far now, and it's about time that we go back to the negotiating table and look at the real causes of this conflict, and what needs to happen to resolve it. And we will be pronouncing ourselves on that matter. Our reading of the situation, I can tell you that most member states were very disappointed with the performance of the Security Council on the 18th of this month, where a resolution that could not even bring relief to the people of Palestine as far as humanitarian assistance, that resolution could not pass. That was a sad day at the UN. That was a sad day that the Security Council could not even come together to get that passed. So for many member states, it was a disappointment. And for many, it was really not just a disappointment, but frustrating. And of course, one cannot overlook that the geopolitics at this time are impacting on this conflict as it plays itself out. We are hoping that tomorrow's open debate will begin to make that shift. I also have to mention that the Arab group, the group of Arab states here at the UN, and the OIC have come together to ask for what we call an emergency special session, like the ones that we've had for Ukraine, to have that emergency special session where we'll focus on the question of Palestine and the people of Palestine. And they have requested the President of the General Assembly to convene that emergency special session where we can have a debate now in the General Assembly, not in the Security Council, because the Security Council has failed to act. So now we are bringing it to the General Assembly where all of us can debate this. And we're hoping that member states will come through and really look at this issue objectively, but really get to the root of the problem. And this will happen from what we are hearing, it's likely to happen on Thursday. We're hoping that it will happen on Wednesday while the minister is still here, but it's likely to happen on Thursday. But it is needed, that meeting in the General Assembly, and that comes about when the Security Council is failing. South Africa will be sending a message that in any conflict that is underway, that is taking place, women play a critical role in peacemaking, in peace building. And in fact, women play a critical role even before the conflict starts. Women can be part of early being able to pick up where the problems are, and being able to act on those as women, and begin to try and avert the conflict. But once the conflict is happening, it's important to bring women on board as peace builders, as peacekeepers in all the key processes around peace building. So we believe that women should not be left out, and they do get left out, especially when further down the line, when negotiations start to happen around the peace table, and a peace agreement is being hammered. Often you'll find that women are not represented in that important process. So we've always believed that women are important in all those peace processes. And it's not different from our own experience, from what the women of South Africa, the role that they played during our own transition, pre-94 all the way into 1994, and post-94. And it is the same that we wish for women in all conflict-affected areas. To take this further, we then provide training and capacity building for women to be able to get skills and competencies to be able to participate meaningfully in peace processes. And specifically, we give women skills across South Africa, but but also in the continent through FemWise. FemWise is a network of the AU for women peace builders and women mediators, and we provide training to some members of FemWise through our diplomatic academy on how to negotiate, how to mediate, but also on post-conflict, how to put together, constitution writing, and all those essential steps that are required for peacemaking and for peace building. Again, taking it from our own experience, how South African women played an important role in our transition, and sharing that with women across. Of course, there is what is called Security Council Resolution 1325, which was and we need to give credit to Namibia that they brought that on board, really moving for how do you make sure that women are meaningfully participating in peace building processes, and they've been subsequent resolutions, including South Africa's own Resolution 2493 when we were in the Security Council, building on that women, peace and security architecture that ensures that women are meaningfully involved in all peace processes. On the Middle East processes and the question of Palestine, it is important that like-minded countries like South Africa and some of our friends really do come together to see how we push this agenda for the Palestinian people forward here at the UN. And South Africa has played that role in the past, where we come together with countries like Namibia, Indonesia, to see what we can do. And we need to continue with those processes of advancing peace for the people of Palestine, especially at this difficult time. On the second issue of women, peace and security, just to say that we are partnering very well with the AU Special Envoy on Women, Peace and Security, Her Excellency Binta Diop, to look at how we can amplify the voices of women peacemakers. These are the women peace builders, the ones that have been trained. That once they've been trained like we do in South Africa, how do we make sure that they just don't sit there with their training, but that they actually get involved in peace processes? And I think that's the piece that we need to work very closely with her on, and others that are interested in this particular space, to make sure that the women actually, after the training and after the skills that they get, they do get involved in a meaningful way.